Hello everyone. We are at the end of week 3. Can't believe it already. So, today we are dictating extended tonality. Okay? We're going to go ahead and start by doing some trichords. We're going to do 2 rhythmic dictations and 2 melodic dictations. So a little bit of everything. Don't want this to be terribly too long though, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So, let's do some warm-up, just for the sake of warming up our ears and kind of our internal clocks. Let's just go ahead and do some major minor scales. 1, 2, major scale. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. And finally, let's do melodic minor. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so I talked a little bit last time about how to dictate trichords. Probably not last time, on Monday. Let me just remind you of the kind of expectations that you're going to have. So, for today, we have 2 of these for you. For right now, they're all within an octave. They're all relative to C, and C5 is the bottom pitch. So remember, a trichord is written in parentheses with a number. It starts with 0, and you put the 3 numbers, and the 3 numbers are the 3 pitches that are formed from that trichord, okay? I will play these as chords, okay? Listen for internal relationships, write up the chord in integers, and then at the end, I'll show you both the chord and what it looks like if it were a melody. I'm going to play each of these 3 times, okay? So here's the first one. This is number 1. First trichord, first listen. Listen 2. Finally, listen 3. Okay, so this is one I actually gave you, or I gave you this one last time, or on Monday. This is 016, a minor second and a tritone. Okay? Okay? So, hopefully you heard the tritone. The minor second is what complicates things a bit. Right? Subtly close, but close to that. In any case, hopefully you heard the tritone or heard the minor second. If you didn't get all 3, that's quite alright. This is our first time doing this, but 016 in its prime form. Now, here's the second one. This is the second one. Listen 3. Third and final listen. Okay, this one's much more compact, which on one hand might make it harder to hear the subtle differences in intervals. That means that it's not going to be as spaced out as an 016, right? This is in fact an 013. Okay, so we still have that semitone, but we have a semitone and then a whole tone, right? This is very close to 012, but a little bit more spread out. So again, trying to manipulate in your brain, okay, if I move this down here, what does that get me? Okay, if I move that up there, being able to spread it out is a useful skill. So something we can kind of work on. Again, first time we're doing this, so I'm not expecting this to be easy. Far from it. I'm expecting this to be difficult. So we'll be doing this a little bit more. I'm going to try to build them into kind of more of a weekly thing, and we'll continue on with trichords throughout the rest of the quarter, as far as I know. as I said, there's not that many of them to keep track of, but figuring out those subtle differences is quite challenging. So let's go ahead and move on to something much more familiar. Let's go ahead and move on to rhythm. So for this first one, rhythmic dictation, 6 measures. I'm going to give you 3 listens. Okay. Now, this one stays in 4/4. It starts on beat 3, but accents and note groupings make it hard to keep track of where the bar lines are. Okay, so that's going to be the challenge for this one. 3 listens, 6 measures. I'm going to clap it. Okay, it starts on beat 3. This is going to be my quarter note. Okay, I'm going to give myself 6, and then we're in. This is listen 1 of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Sorry, everybody. I messed up the second freaking measure. Try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. That was right. Sorry about that, everybody. Go ahead and take 15 seconds and try to get some thoughts down. Okay, here's listen 2 of 3. 2 of 3. This is 6, and we're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's a bit quick, I know. It's part of the challenge, though. Okay, third and final listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, take about 10 more seconds. Okay, here it is. I did just the first 6 measures of this. As you can see, this is kind of an odd thing because melodically this would be easier to perhaps kind of parse through. But in any case, notice all these random kind of stems everywhere. This is Bartók's way of showing us where he wants emphasis placed. So I tried to kind of split it in the middle. I wasn't quite as descriptive as Bartók may have wanted, but I still tried to accent the things that required accents. So the first 2 measures are pretty straightforward. You know, and so on. But then it's the third measure where we get kind of weird. Right? We get that displacement that kind of shifts where we're hearing our beats. This kind of continues. We get reset a little bit in the 4th measure, but it gets offset going forward. And so on. Lots of ties over the bar lines in this one, which is kind of what, you know, obscures it a bit. But not too bad, hopefully. Hopefully this was pretty straightforward for all of you. It does continue on, but I wanted to keep this one a little bit shorter. So hopefully that was mostly correct. If not, you know, we could always do some more rhythmic dictation in an office hour. You could always go ahead and go back over through this one after a couple days and you've kind of forgotten what the rhythm sounds like and what have you. So let's go ahead and do one more rhythm, please. One more rhythm. This next one, I'm looking for 9 measures. I'm going to give you 4 listens. 9 measures, 4 listens. Notice it changes meter, and I've done the nice thing, and I've given you where the meters change. I've gone back and forth on whether or not to do this, because it would be far more difficult to not catch the meter changes, but knowing where they are also makes this actually quite a bit easier. So we'll see. In any case, 9 measures, 4 listens. Okay, I've given you the first 2 beats. That first measure is a complete measure. Okay, so I'm going to go about the same tempo, with this being my quarter note. Okay, ready? So 4 listens, 9 measures. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a little bit of an abrupt ending there. That's just how it is. Okay, take another 15 seconds or so. Okay, here we go. Listen, 2 of 4. 2 of 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for the third listen, I'm going to go a little bit slower, and then I'll resume to that first tempo for the final listen. So third listen, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, fourth and final listen. 1, 2, ready, go. Take another 10 seconds. Go ahead and finish up your thoughts. Okay, take a look at this. Here we go. I only played the first 2.5 staves. This one's pretty straightforward in the sense that rhythmically you almost always have this 8th note pulse. He does a couple things with accents that I tried to throw in there to kind of set you off a little bit, but in general, not too bad. The final measure might be the hardest just because you've got syncopation. And so on. But other than that, not too tricky. That's why I went quite a bit quicker for this one at first, because not super rhythmically challenging as far as the dictation goes. But in any case, mixed meter becomes far more common in the 20th century. Exceptionally more common. And get really complicated meters too. So I mean, common time to 6/8 to 5/4 is not even that bad in the grand scheme of things. We do have 7/8 later in this example, but we didn't get that far. So in any case, let's go ahead and do 2 melodies now. Okay, so 2 melodies. This next one also changes meter. 6 measures, 4 listens. And I give you the first 3 notes. Right? Might imply some kind of F sharp minor-ish. So F sharp might be a center pitch. It might not be. You have no idea. Okay? So try to listen intervallically instead of trying to think so much in solfege. Okay? This is the 8th note pulse I'm going to give you. Okay, I'm going to give you 4, and then I'm going to come in on, I'm going to give you 5, pardon me, and then I'm going to come in on the second 8th note of the first measure. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, listen 2 of 4. You may have picked up that chromaticism may or may not be as big of a deal on this one. I'm going to go a little bit quicker, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, listen 3 of 4. I'm going to go even quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. 4th and final listen. You may have figured this out. I'm going to go even quicker still. Even quicker still. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So, you may have figured out not that much going on, okay? In fact, it's kind of diatonic almost. It sounds very much like F sharp natural minor in a sense. However, it's got the mixing meters, so I decided to ramp up the speed every time, but hopefully that one was pretty straightforward for you. So see, when we talk about extended tonality, it doesn't necessarily have to get that complicated. In this case, the most complicated aspect is just the mixed meter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And so on. Okay. In any case, hopefully that was pretty straightforward for you. I wanted to give you a bit of a relaxing dictation to kind of ease into things. The next one's going to be a little bit trickier, but still kind of in the same ballpark. This next one doesn't change meter at all. It's 9 measures. I'm going to play it fairly quickly because rhythmically there's actually not that much going on. So that might indicate that pitch is going to be trickier. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 listens for 9 measures. 5 listens for 9 measures. Here's your first pitch. Okay. This is going to be your beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Okay, 5 listens. It's going to be at a quicker tempo, but rhythms aren't going to be that big of a deal. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, quite quick. So that was one listen. You'll get 4 more. Really try to nail rhythm and contour in the first 2. And the first 4 measures are kind of gimmies anyways. Okay, take another 15 seconds. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is 3 of 5. This is the midpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is 4 of 5. 2 listens remain. Okay, really try to figure out what's happening in those last 4 measures or so. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do our 5th and final listen. I know it's quick, but I'm trying to challenge you. Here we go. 5th and final listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so lots of rhythmic repetition, and the meter doesn't change. So rhythm is almost a non-issue in this. It's almost entirely pitch we're looking for here. So the first 4 measures are really straightforward. It's like do to mi, almost like, right? And then we go to fa, or almost as if we're going ti-do, whatever. This is the weirdest note, but then it leads to our next note. Right? That D sharp leads to the E. Then we have a minor triad. And then we have another minor triad. Right? So they're not related in any sort of functional sense, but hopefully hearing them as descending minor triads might help. Okay? Then when we get down to F in the second, this is the last measure of the second staff. Then we have a kind of whole tone sounding thing. Right? It's almost a whole tone. And then the only thing that breaks it is that D natural. Right? We switch to a half step there, right? And then from there, it then just becomes like 3-2-1 or like a 4-2-0, so to speak. Okay? So this one's kind of eclectic. It's not particularly, it would have been far easier if I would have slowed it down, I would imagine. I wanted to kind of challenge you with the speed there. But this one's kind of interesting because it really does kind of feel almost like a C major melody, you know, starting on sol, right? And then we go to 6, and then we're weird kind of 4 mix, but then we have this weird kind of whole tone thing, but then we still just end, right? So we get that in post-tonal music sometimes. Sometimes it's not all dissonant. Sometimes it is playful. I mean, this piece is A Child's Garden of Verses. So it's kind of deliberately playing around with this idea of like, what would a post-tonal lullaby sound like, so to speak. So in any case, that's it for the dictations for today. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of wrap-up. Next week, we are continuing with trichords and sets. We are moving on to singing and dictating symmetrical scale melodies. We will also be introducing post-tonal melodies. So we will be doing symmetrical scales and stuff and dictating them, which we haven't really done before. And we'll be singing post-tonal melodies. So entirely interval-based music. Today I gave you kind of some softballs, but entirely interval-based music next week. Nothing to hold on to. Midterm is week 5, like normal. Monday of week 5 will be a review and an explanation of the midterm. The Monday video will be kind of like a normal review session. It will basically be just, here's what's on the midterm, here's how the logistics are going to go. It's going to be similar to previous quarters, So not too much to change there, luckily. Homework will be on GachaSpace. Probably not will be. Is on GachaSpace right now. That's due Monday. Okay, so get that homework to me on Monday, okay? So with that, that's the first half of chapter 21. We are officially moving on from any sort of shade of tonality and moving on into full post-tonality next week. So take care, everybody. See you next time.